Okay, I'm getting ready to bake my dough that was in the fridge. And so this is the dough that was in the fridge. It rose up pretty high. A lot of people would say it's overproofed, but I like it when it's overproofed. It bakes up really nice and airy, and a lot of people tell me that they enjoy it. So I'm gonna continue to overproof my dough a little bit. I also have a piece of parchment paper and a plate. I have some flour, a razor blade, some water, and I have my Dutch oven. This is usually the bottom, and this is usually the bottom, and this is usually the top. But I bake it opposite of that, and I'll show you what throughout the process. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to uncover this dough. I had it covered with this shower cap like thing. And you can see it's nice and big and fresh and airy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz some flour over the top so that it doesn't stick even to the parchment paper when I go to take it out. Okay, so I'm just going to sift some flour over the top and make sure that it gets everywhere. A little bit gets on the counter. That's just the way life goes. We clean up after. Okay. So, and now I'm just going to rub it all over to make sure that there's a nice coating of flour. This is going to be the bottom of my loaf. Okay, so now that I have dusted it with flour, I'm going to take my parchment paper and lay the parchment paper over it nice and evenly. So that the parchment paper ends, especially on the shorter side, go around as far as possible. The longer side doesn't really matter. Then I take my plate, I put my plate over the top, and I flip. All right, and then I pull my banneton. This is a banneton with a cloth liner in it. I just pull it right off, it comes off, and I put that aside to dry. So now I have this nice big dough. Okay, I'm going to use my razor blade to score the dough. And the reason a lot of people do it decoratively. I'm not an artist. And really the purpose of the score is to allow the bread to spread evenly and rise up. If you don't score it, you can get, it can, bust out in all different places and not, I don't know. So we score it, and I'll show you my score afterwards. A lot of people are very artistic. I am not. So this is what my score looks like. A cross with little nodules on the sides. Now, after we score it, we spray it with water. This helps to create steam, which helps the rise. And evidently people say that it also causes blistering, which is supposed to be a good thing. I'm not sure why blistering is ever a good thing, but they say it's good, so whatever. Mostly what I'm concerned about is it rising up and springing nicely in the oven, because I've had many loaves that did not rise properly and did not spring up in the oven. All right, so now I'm going to transfer it using the parchment paper into the top of my Dutch oven. And in this, I have another piece of parchment paper folded up just to help keep the bottom from getting too brown. And then I just lift and transfer it right into the bottom or the top of the Dutch oven, and it fits right in nicely like that. All right. Next, I take the top of the Dutch oven or the bottom, whatever it is, and I cover it. And I make sure that the bottom handles are catty corner, because when I go to lift this bottom out, I'm going to have to remove the top later. And with oven mitts on, it's not possible for me to remove it if the handles are lined up. So I always put the top on so that the handles do not line up. And then I just stick it in the oven. Cold Dutch oven. I stick it in. I set it to bake at 450. And then I set the timer for 1 hour. Okay. And then after an hour, I will take it out and remove the top. And I'll show you that after an hour, and then I'll bake it for another 15 minutes. So an hour and 15 minutes total. The end temperature you want to be between 200 and 210 degrees. Okay.